Hey guys, welcome back to the Plant-Based Chow. I'm Holly, and today it's the recipe you guys have been waiting for, the macaroni and cheese. Alright, so I already have some things prepped and done so that we don't have to have such a long video. This is optional, but I just took one head of broccoli, cut it up into florets, and steamed it, so that's done and ready. And then I have the pasta already making on the stove. I used the super grain pasta. I believe I've told you guys about this in a previous video. So this is made out of organic corn and quinoa, so a lot healthier than your average white processed pasta. Of course, you can use whole grain pastas or anything like that as well. And then I have all of our ingredients before us. So we're going to start out with 1/3 of a cup of whole wheat flour. This is whole wheat. You can use all-purpose as well, but whole wheat's better. This is a 1/4 cup of butter, the Earth Balance vegan butter. We have 3 cups of this is almond milk, but you can use cashew or anything like that as well. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. This right here is a mixture of salt and garlic powder. Salt is 2 teaspoons of salt, and then you can start with about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and if you are like me, we like things a little more garlicky around here, so I add about 1/2 teaspoon more. And this here is nutritional yeast. This right here is, we use the powdered and not so much of the flakes. So here you can use up to 1/2 cup if it's flakes. If it's the powder, you might want to use just a little bit less. It's up to you. You can add maybe a 1/2 just to taste, and then add the other 1/2 or whatever you need to do to keep to find that flavor that you like, the balance that you like. And then I have a teaspoon, maybe that's a tablespoon, of agave. It's a tablespoon. And then a tablespoon of lemon juice. So that is all of our ingredients. And so if you want to follow me on over here to the stove, I'll show you what we have going on over here. So right here I have the pasta going, and it's about half done right now. It's got a little bit more to go. But in our pan here, we're going to get our butter and our flour whisked together and browned. So, I'm going to rub your spatula here to get this out a little bit better. So this is our 1/4 cup of butter. Now, I don't really like that. I don't like having to use so much butter, and so I really want to find another recipe that doesn't use any type of butter or oils. But for now, this is what I'm going to show you guys. Maybe next week I'll come up with a little bit healthier of a version. So while that's in there, I'm just going to take my whisk and kind of whisk this together and get that the flour really absorbed in the butter there. And of course it's gonna kind of, since it's the whole wheat flour, it's gonna be all brown. When I first made this, my kids thought it was brown sugar. They're like, "You're making macaroni and cheese with brown sugar?" So I have the burner up right now, probably like on a medium-high heat, and just I'm gonna kind of like let that kind of, I would say, brown up, which you would probably do a little bit more, and you could tell if it was the white flour, but since it's not, it's the whole wheat flour, it's already brown, so it's probably just about 2 minutes. You let it. Of course, you don't want it to burn or stick to the bottom of the pan, so just kind of move it around every once in a while there. While that's doing that, I'm going to check my pasta again because it's been over here a little while. to taste it because I'm very picky about my pasta. But I don't like it too mushy. Al dente is good. So that actually is good. I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to just, I already have my colander in the sink. I'm going to drain those and just let that sit while we're doing this here. Alright, so this is probably good. Here, just kind of tossing that around. It's kind of starting to get stuck to the pan just a little bit, but not like burning or anything like that. Kind of crumbly, like drying out almost. That's kind of what we want right there. From here, we're going to add our milk. So I have 3 cups of a nut milk and my whisk. Now this is kind of chilled. If you don't want it to like steam up a whole lot, you can always warm up your milk. Gonna do it and get it over with. That was only 2 cups. I still got to put my other cup in, but I'm going to just take a second and whisk this and start getting these clumps broken up a bit. And again, I have my stove on about a medium to medium high. I always have an issue with like being patient while I cook. Everything I cook is on high. I've had to learn to be more patient, turn the heat down, and just wait. I used to have everything up on high heat because it cooks faster, right? That was my theory. But then, of course, everything usually came out either burnt or half cooked and not good. So I'm just going to kind of whisk this up, let this get warm, get it hot, and get all those chunks, which it looks like it's pretty well broken down now. So I'm just going to let it rest a minute and give it a second to do that, to thicken up just a little bit. When I'm in the kitchen by myself and I can't walk away from the stove because, well, if I do, I'll get preoccupied and it starts to burn. You know what you do when you're waiting on something like this? You could always turn on some music and do a little dance. Do a little dance, right? You know, whatever. White girl can't dance. Alright, so we're looking pretty good here. So we'll leave the dancing up to the professionals, and I'll get back to the stove. We're going to add the tomato paste. Tomato paste. The garlic and the salt. Let's put that around there. And then nutritional yeast, and that nutritional yeast is going to give it that nice cheesy flavor and cheesy look. I didn't add in all of it yet. I'm going to just kind of start whisking this and getting everything incorporated. It's really red at the moment from the tomato paste, but as we get things more mixed up here. Also, if you're using more of a if you're using a white flour, like the all-purpose flour, this is, of course, is going to get really yellow, more of that yellowy look, the cheesy look, because it's white. But since we use the brown of the whole wheat flour and it's kind of brown, and then with the tomato paste in here. It almost gives it more of a brown look instead of the yellow cheesy look. But it's okay because it's still really yummy. I'm going to turn down the heat because I'm really starting to bubble here. Don't want it to burn. Get all of this mixed in. Alright, now this sauce, for the amount of noodles, I used one box of the noodles, which is about 8 ounces. So this is way more sauce than what we're actually going to need for that amount of noodles. So either A, you can make sure you use about 16 ounces of noodles, or you can just take the extra sauce, put it in the refrigerator, and use it for tomorrow. And have macaroni and cheese 2 days in a row if you want. Alright, so now that that's all mixed together and incorporated and getting thickened, I'm going to grab our other 2 ingredients, our last 2, which is the agave and the lemon juice. Let's come on over. Just pour that in. I'm actually going to turn down our heat. It's getting bubbly. I don't want it to start sticking on the bottom. And then our lemon juice. Kind of whisk that up just a little bit more. So I have the heat. I'm actually going to go ahead and just turn the heat off at this point. And then from here, I'm going to grab our broccoli and our pasta. And actually, let's see. We'll put the pasta back in the pan that it came from. Because like I said, since I'm going to probably save some of the sauce, I don't want to put it all in there because then I won't be able to save it. So we put our pasta in there. Ladle this into here. Again, this is your taste. However saucy, how much that you like it. If you don't like but a little bit of sauce, then only put a couple of ladles in. If you like a lot of sauce, then you can add more. You know the drill. Alright? So that's about 3 ladles worth right here. And I'm going to be adding some more because I still have some broccoli to add in here, and that will end up kind of soaking up some of that sauce and everything as well. So and guys, there you have it. It's like pretty much done. One more ladle there. Listen to that. Oh my goodness. All that sauce. And of course, you don't have to use broccoli. You can use cauliflower. I actually used to put peas as well in my kids' macaroni and cheese, and they used to really like that when they were real little. So let me grab a plate, and I'll put some on a plate so you guys can see how pretty it is out of that pan. Let's see, get some. Of course, all my big spoons are probably in the dishwasher. Here we go. I love to add vegetables in with anything that I can, especially for the kids. Sneak them in there when possible. Alright guys, there it is. The macaroni and cheese, vegan, and I hope you guys really get to try this, and I hope you really enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe, and see you here next week with a whole new recipe. Have a good week, guys. Bye. You gotta be cracking up now. Not crapping up, cracking up.
Whoa.
Alright. Macaroni and cheese. Mm. Bye.